Well, hello everybody. We at OCR Labs are absolutely thrilled to give you the first look at Orbit. What is Orbit? Orbit is an optical character recognition and facial recognition engine equipped with advanced fraud prevention technology that we've built from the ground up. We're going to add a whole new dimension and show you some of our unique innovations that we have made for identification documents on the mobile platform. Optical character recognition is probably one of the most advanced forms of technology you can add to your onboarding process. One of the benefits is, well, speed. So let's look at an example. When we came to the US, we created a bucket list. So far, we've completed eating In-N-Out Burger, visiting Pier 39, and escaping from Alcatraz. But next up on our list is our California road trip. So let's go and plan this. We'll be driving from San Francisco to San Diego, following the beautiful Pacific Coast Highway. We've organized a few things so far. First off is our sunglasses and our camera. But we need to book a car. So let's go and do this now. Daniel, my colleague, is going to help me do this. Sure. Okay. First, let's select a location and a date. Now we're presented with a list of cars. Let's have a look.
How about this one?
No thanks. Let's go back and pick the Aston. Awesome. Now, typically this is a very tedious process, but no fear, we've implemented Orbit into this. We're going to scan a driver's license and extract its details from over 20 points on the card. Let's have a look. So, we simply just place the card in front of our camera control, and bang, we've got our details. Let's go to the next step. Okay, looks like we're going to scan a passport now. Let's go ahead and do this. Again, same process. Put the ID in front of the camera and let our camera control do the work. Boom. And we've got the details. Next, let's go and make a payment. Orbit is equipped with credit card scanning. Let's go ahead and do this as well. Great, so we've got our transaction ID and we're all ready for our road trip. That whole process was expedited with Orbit. Each document it scanned was processed in 300 milliseconds. No internet, no servers, no waiting. In fact, do you know what else has an action time as fast as this? Your blink. We've worked really hard to engineer Orbit to be this quick. To show you how profound this is, let's have a look at how it stacks up against some other commonplace OCR solutions. So, here we go. And bang, we're done at 300 milliseconds. Let's wait for the others to catch up. Next off the bat, 6.9 seconds and 8.7 seconds. Again, we did this, the same IDs, 300 milliseconds. It's profound. When we were laying out our architecture for Orbit, a whole emphasis of ours was on security. We care so much about this. We are scanning people's IDs, and if implementing into a product, being a bank or a conscious company, you want to have full control over your customer data and where it's going. Isn't that true? It should not be uploaded to a server that is not yours, because you don't have control over it. With Orbit, all extractions happen on the device. Or if you run a hybrid or a web app, you can opt to use your own servers. So let's recap. Orbit is quick, secure, and you have full control over this. But let's get a little bit more serious now. OCR is becoming vital for your KYC, AML, or any ID proofing scenario. Customers are wanting to do identification requirement checking where they are, on their computers and on their phones. One of our customers in Canada hosts Orbit Web Edition on their architecture for their onboarding process. And they're using KYC and AML checking. Let's have a look at how this works. So first off, they capture the front of the card. This is full OCR. We're using 16 points on this card. We'll be scanning it. We also will be using the back of the card, which contains the PDF 417 barcode. This barcode contains card information. We're using this to compare the front and back information. Now, once we've got this, we send this up to an API, and within 30 seconds, we can have a full KYC and AML report. Now, there's a bit of a problem with allowing users to do this, because you actually don't see them when they're doing the AML and KYC. So what's stopping me from using someone else's ID? The solution? Facial recognition with liveness detection. Facial recognition with liveness detection uses blinking and facial movements to ensure the person is real. However, we've discovered a problem with this. Unfortunately, liveness detection is not quite there yet, and we have not seen a solid solution on the market. It's easily tricked with simple masks with the eyes and mouth cut out for simulating blinking and mouth movement. Isn't that right, Chuck? Let's have a look at what happens if you don't have adequate live detection. In this demo, we have scanned Daniel's driver's license. We've cropped his face out and simply printed this as a printer. Let's have a look. In this scenario, this provider is actually really adequately analyzing the eyes and the detection around the top half of their face. But let's see what happens when we expose the real set of eyes. Okay, let's have a look at another. In this scenario, they're just using blinking. We'll just speed it up. It takes a while. And there we go. We've got our details. If you notice, it says facial match confidence 100%. Now, this is only because we're using the actual face of the driver's license and printed that out. And at the bottom, we've got a live detection being detected, simply just through a blink. Not adequate enough. So, this is scary, and we want to fix this. We're about to see a huge leap in this field with mobile recognition. Today, we'd like to preview the next generation of live detection with Orbit. Uses photoplethysmography. What is that? Well, it turns out that every time your heart beats, your skin changes color on a micro level, and we can detect this with the device's camera in orbit. It's really important because we can check vitals to stop fraud. So just as we're detecting your blinking and your face movement, we can now add heart rate activities for detection purposes. I'd love to show you a live demo. Okay, so we're going to go ahead in this. Daniel's going to line up his face. We've added an indicator at the bottom just for use for today. So you can see facial identification has been done. We're now doing blinking, facial expression with a smile, and in the background, we've actually been detecting his heart rate that whole time. And there you go. We'll give it a couple of seconds and see what Orbit says. Perfect. We've got a full successful live detection. But let's give Chuck a go. Chuck, you're up. So his face has been identified. Just like the others, the blinking has also been identified and his eyes have been detected. And we've got some facial movement with the mouth being there as well. However, this time around, you notice that no heart rate has been detected. And that's because it's not real. Okay, as expected. Orbit is also ISO and IEC compliant, which is a benchmark standard for facial recognition. Next up, fake IDs. If you collect ID, you want to know if it's real. But how do you do that? Well, IDs have this thing called advanced security features, and it's really scientific technology on the cards, and government agencies spend a lot of money on this. It combines measured alignments, positioned elements and graphics, specific font styles, and, of course, we have color. But there's one really important advanced security feature on a card which we don't detect today, and that is holograms. Today, we're pleased to announce that we have support for full holograms. Actually, this is really hard to do. We've made some huge breakthroughs in light detection and refraction. When you initially start up the process, we calculate and read the light in the environment. This is because holograms can light up in different ways and under different angles and different light hues. With this understanding, we use pivoting methods where you ask the user to move the card in areas. We then take many pictures of the card at various angles to stitch together the hologram, which we then can read. This is just amazing, and we'd love to show you a demo. So, we'll start this off. And Daniel's just going to position his card in the front of the camera, and then he's just going to be doing what the camera control is asking him to do. So we've got the top of the card already successfully identified, and then we've been prompted. So, let's have a look at the results. Okay, so as you can see on the top, the middle hologram was detected successfully. And this is actually a really easy one to detect. It's a very large hologram. But if you look at the bottom, We're using horizontal holograms there, and this is really difficult to detect, but Orbit was able to do that with our pivoting technology. Remarkable. We've been so excited to show you that today. Orbit is truly breakthrough in mobile OCR, with over 400 ID types and growing, 250 countries, states, and territories and growing. Orbit lives on iOS, Android, and the web. We've been super excited to show you our 2 new innovations. We've worked really hard on this, and we've got a lot in the pipeline ahead. And I'd also like to take this opportunity just to thank our small team of engineers. We've worked really, really hard to preview everything we've done today. And I'd just like to do a big shout out to them. With our heart rate detection, it'll soon be available. It's in beta, and with some of our partners already. Our hologram detection will be available in Q1 next year. But you can come to our booth, and you can sign up to it today. So see you there. Thank you so much.